Welcome back to the Atlanta Realtors Rundown Podcast. I am Karen Hatcher, your host for today. And y'all, I am super excited about our guest today. I have the Marki Lemons Ryhal with us. If you have not heard her speak yet and hear what she has to teach about, y'all, you are in for a real treat. And even if you had heard it before, you can always learn something new from Marki. Okay. I catch her every time I can. I can always count on her to be at an NAR conference. I'm always hoping for our association to bring her back down to Georgia, either on a state level or on a local level. But we got her here today for our podcast because our goal is always to get the best content in front of our members and also show you where you can get good information, the right training, who you can follow that's putting out training and tools that you can actually use to increase the production in your business. So welcome, Marki. Let me tell y'all a little bit about her. So Marki is one of 100 speakers selected out of over 1,300 to speak at the Realtors Conference and Expo 11 times, face-to-face and virtually, with high program evaluations, and she's been an Inman closing keynote speaker as well. Marki Lemons Ryhal is a licensed managing broker, realtor, avid volunteer, major investor, President's Circle, federal political coordinator, podcast host of Drive with NAR, and Social Selling Made Simple, 30 times published author and 6-time international best-selling author. And I'm not done, y'all. Marki is dedicated to all things real estate, and you're going to hear it when she speaks. It just comes through her blood, okay? With 30 years of marketing and education experience, Marki has taught over 1 million people, face-to-face and virtually, since 1993. On top of all that experience that she shares with everyone, she's got an educational background too. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Management from Chicago State University and a Master's in Business Administration from St. Xavier University, and 65 real estate related licenses, certifications, and designations. Whew. Amazing, right? Just incredible. So y'all are really in for a treat.
Woo, let me tell you something. You just wore me out. Thank you for having me here. And Fireflash just told me somehow I managed to have 437 meetings last year. It's like, well, how did I go to work if I was having all these meetings? And what's amazing is I say no a lot. Like, I'm very much strategically aligned with what my purpose is. It seems like I do a lot, but it's all for a reason.
It's because you're in alignment.
It's
That's
in
the thing. You're
alignment.
in alignment. When you're working in your alignment, and I fully believe in that. That was my word for last year, going deeper in alignment. When you're in alignment, it all runs together. And
Yeah.
you're still closing. So
Yeah.
it's like the work you're doing and what you teach is exactly what you can do in your business. And so it's pretty incredible to see how you have just grown your business, grown your teaching, your education over the years. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
So you have jumping, I'm jumping right in because we got it. Y'all got it. There's a lot of questions, y'all, and I'm gonna try to get through this. And we're gonna keep this, to our normal time under 45. But you can always catch up more with her on social media. And I'm gonna give them to them right now. I'm gonna give it to you again in the end. But right now, Marki, where can they follow you?
They can follow me online at Marki Lemons. If they spell my name correctly, they will find me. I am the only Marki Lemons in the world, spelled Markilemons.
Love it. All right, y'all, you're gonna buckle up because she gets to it. And this is how her classes are too. She gets to it, and it's a workshop, right? So she's
Yes.
gonna talk you through as much as she can right now. But again, follow up, look for her classes, and you can keep up and implement these tools in your business like today. That's how it is every
Today.
time I leave her class. So, Mark, you've been a trailblazer in the real estate industry, particularly with your expertise in social media and AI. Can you tell us about your journey into real estate and how technology became a key part of your success? Because I think a lot of people struggle with the why do I need to make time?
Why do you need to make time? So, I am a proud Chicago fifth generation entrepreneur who birthed a sixth generation entrepreneur. This year, my family celebrated 70 years of being in business. My grandfather's been inducted into the Barbecue Hall of Fame, and I've been gainfully self employed since the age of 10. Mind you, I never even wanted to go to college. I was going to become a hairstylist and was going to open a salon right down the street from our barbecue restaurant. My mother made me go to college, and she said, "Girl, in the future, you're not going to want to stand on your feet all day." So after my mother acted a fool, I went to college, showed up at Central State University, and I've never seen so many fine black men in one setting in my life. And instantly I said to myself, who don't go to college? And I already knew if I was going to go to college, what I wanted to do in college. I've always been a great socializer. So, I pledged Alpha Sweetheart, pledged Delta Sigma Theta sorority, served my colleges and my sorority quite well. So I came into real estate in 1999 after going through a bitter lawsuit with my family, which they had to buy me out. And so I had all of this business experience. I had a lot of education. So I've always treated real estate like a business. And when I first graduated from undergrad, I started teaching for Chicago Public Schools. And I told myself then that I did not have enough real world experience, that it was not my time to be in the classroom because I went from CPS to teaching on the collegiate level by the time I was 25. And I
Nice.
said, "Oh, let me go get some real experience." But my mentor, Frank Williams, said, "Hey, baby Dow, I need you to become a licensed real estate educator." So in 2006, I did what Frank told me to do. And here we are 18 years later. Well, at the same time that was occurring, I was reading then the profile of buyers and sellers from the National Association of Realtors. And it told me that we had gone from 2% of consumers using the internet to 80%, especially when it came to real estate related searches. And I'm like, well, nothing else has increased 78%. I need to be online, right? And then when we start thinking about social media is the place that people tell you all their business in real time for free, right?
Too
In
much
real time
business.
for free. But I want you to go back to when I came into real estate, we were buying these lists and we were
Yeah,
paying
you're
good money
right.
for these lists
Yep.
to understand consumer behaviors, right? And I'm like, I don't even have to buy a list anymore. People are over here on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn telling me all of their business. Let me use technology. Let me go where they tell me all their business for free in real time for me to update my customer relationship management system. And doing that has served me well. So I have numerous examples of how I've earned a lot of money in the least amount of time because I have a robust customer relationship management system, and I have a lot of data because I'm using social media to update my customer relationship management system.
Amazing. Did y'all
Yeah.
hear that? Okay, so I know you hear from your brokers and your team leaders all the time about CRM tools, but she's talking about taking the stuff from her content, social media that she's getting from her clients already and future clients, putting it in the CRM tool and then using that to keep it updated and breathing life. So I mean, that's another level of you didn't have to do a manual anymore, right?
What?
But you,
Here's what's interesting. I'm gonna say this for the first time. A lot of people out here lying, and let me tell you what they're lying about. No, I'm serious.
yeah,
I know numerous realtors who do $100 million in productivity, right? But they buy leads.
yeah,
But then they talk about their sphere of influence. So if we look at reports from NAR, most people do not nurture their sphere of influence, and most consumers don't remember our name. But if you have done hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, right? Why do you still need to buy leads if you
right.
have a customer relationship management system that you've nurtured,
That's
right?
true.
So I hear people talk all the time about my sphere of influence, my sphere of influence. Well, the average realtor has less than 400 contacts in their customer relationship management system, and they don't nurture them.
Yeah,
And if you're doing that, because that's what I do, I don't need to buy leads.
yeah.
I don't buy leads, right? I leverage social media to get people to leave whatever platform they're on to come to my website to give me their information in exchange for an item of value. And I nurture them.
So here y'all hear those who are out there paying for leads. She's saying that take the people that you are currently selling to and start using your CRM.
Yes,
Using your CRM and
yes.
updating it. Like that's smart though, and putting them right next. You can have your Facebook on one side of the screen and your CRM on the other side of the screen, and then you start putting, okay, they had a baby. Okay, they get married, and boom, there's your touches. There's your, yep, you spot on that.
So today, this morning, I got up as a federal political coordinator and I ran a special report for District 1, state of Illinois, for Congressman Jonathan Jackson. And I took that report and then went over and put it into ChatGPT. And what ChatGPT pulled out, right, um, it actually reinforced my business plan for 2025 because what it told me was, hey, Marky, 90% of the people who live in District 1 have broadband access. That means that they have internet connectivity. So my goal is I already knew it was 90%. It's for me to be in the palm of the hand of the consumer. But now it helped me identify a couple of things. Most of the people in my district, those that own a house, are age 55 and older, which is my sweet spot. That's my age bracket, right? Yeah, but if they don't sell, they need to move into a one level house,
Yep.
right? And the last two comps on my block sold for over $1 million. So for the first time, they're saying, hey, in District 1, you might want to start looking at luxury, right? Which is not traditional inside of this district. So I'm taking all of this data because this report came out of RPR that licensed real estate professionals who are realtor members have access to. And now I'm taking Chat GPT to run these special reports. And here's what's funny, Karen. So now, let me just say this. I know that one of the $1 million houses was sold to a single female.
Mhm.
I came up with a image of what a single female looks like that's in shape, that's affluent, because I know that this woman is in shape. Okay. I'm not going to tell all her business, but I know that she's in shape. And most households, going back to NAR studies, say that houses have a pet versus a child. I already got the image for the marketing based on the reports that we get to run and have access to and can connect via social media.
Okay, so we got to unpack that real quick. Wait a second, because you just said a whole lot there. So
Mm-hmm.
you took the report from RPR, which we all
Mm-hmm.
have access to at Atlanta Realtors as well through our MLS membership is a benefit of our realtor dues. Okay, you can get to RPR through MLS. So if you haven't used it yet, you need to log into RPR. Okay, that's what she's saying. That's Realtor Property Resources, RPR.
Yes.
Log in RPR. Did you take the PDF and upload it into ChatGPT?
I took the PDF and loaded it into ChatGPT.
And then
And let
they
me,
gave you like a summary.
and they gave me a summary. But here's the thing. So because I like to take this information and post it, I've already posted it, right? And
I love
and I
it.
don't care if people like it. What I'm doing is making sure that you don't forget what I do.
Right.
So you don't have to like it as long as I'm doing the work. So let me tell you how it goes. It says, as a lifelong resident of the Congressional District 1 and federal political coordinator to Congressman Jonathan Jackson. But here's, as we scroll down, it's giving me my target audience focus, high income households, 55 plus age demographics. It pulled all of this straight out of the report, right?
Wow.
And because I already know because of another report that Dr. Lauren June and Dr. Jessica Lout did that we all have access to. So let's
Yeah.
let's unpack this, right?
Yeah.
Today, more households have a pet than they do a child. The three fastest growing segments are unmarried couple, single women, and then single men. There's a huge decline in married couples buying real estate. So if I want to focus on and let me tell you how I know who bought the house. I called the listing agent. Okay, so let me go that route. So I know exactly who bought the house, what they do for a living. I know her age bracket. That means that I need to start attracting single pet owners or your non-traditional couple, unmarried couple. I want you to think
Yeah.
LGBTQ plus community. Okay. I need you
Yeah.
to think about it. So my marketing has changed and I'm leveraging AI. I didn't have to go and hire anybody to create this image. I used Mid Journey. I didn't have to pay somebody to run this report. I used Chat GPT. So everything that we're pulling from social media, I now get to analyze it at an entirely different level because I have the data and I have the database.
See, that's amazing. And now and since I've taken Marki's classes, I have been using Chat GPT more. I mean, I use it at least every week now, and probably a few times a week for
Excellent.
all kinds of things. So thank you. And I'm telling you, bring a laptop to her class, okay? Whether you take it online or in person, because she's going to go fast and she's going to get right to it. And so AI can seem overwhelming for some
Yes.
agents because I know initially I was like, okay, how do I use this? But then you gave it to me in such layman's terms of how to use it. It was just like so practical. What's the easiest tool or feature that agents can use today to start generating more leads? I know since you told me about the voice prompter I've started using that on my phone.
Oh my
What's
God.
the easiest tool?
Well, it get easier every day. So let me say this. You can now call Chat GPT and ask it a question, right?
What?
You can message it via WhatsApp.
Wow.
Here's what's freaking crazy. And I made this post yesterday. Chat GPT, the 4.0 version, allows you to use the video caption. So I can hold this phone up and it'll read whatever is on the screen. Our children don't have to read because ChatGPT can read for them. It can read for them and translate for them. And
Wow.
then I have these meta glasses that I wear now that take photos, videos, talk to me, answer the phone. Right now, ChatGPT, because there's not an easiest tool. There are numerous tools that provide some of the same features, but I think it's contingent upon where you've historically stored your information. So I'm a big Chat GPT user, but I also use Microsoft, which means Copilot could be my
Okay.
favorite tool.
All
And I'm
right.
also a strong Google user, which means Gemini could be my strong tool. ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot have pretty much all the same capabilities. The only difference is ChatGPT is older, so it's been trained about a couple of months, right, on
Yeah.
more data points than these other systems. And because we can all have an audio keyboard on our mobile device, regardless of the operating system, that means that either through the app or the web browser for these tools, I get to speak what I want into existence. So, an example would be I believe that your name should be synonymous with what it is you profess to do. And the reason I say that is because my name is Marki Lemons Ryhal. I'm the only one in the world, but people are not going to spell Marki Lemons or Rao correctly. That means they won't find me the only one. But what I need to do is to make you know what it is that I do for a living. So when you're searching for what I do for a living, I put myself in a position to come up in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
Okay. And so in doing that, I need to put out a lot of content around what it is that I do, how I service people, what's my value add. So you can't act like you don't know what it is that I say I do for a living. With that being said, I recommend that for every $100,000 a person wants to earn, they need to put out 1,066 words of content per day. So I've already put out enough content today to earn $1 million. Okay. Because 1 minute of video is equivalent to 1.8 million words. So every single day, I'm putting out words, I'm putting out photos, and I'm putting out videos. You're going to get the biggest bang for your buck with video content. And I'm leveraging AI audio in on any of those platforms I mentioned in order to create the words, the image, and then a tool I prefer to use, Studio DID, to create a video.
Wow.
And right now, just one of our business partners, an AI innovator, her name is Kimberly Alford. She's an AI, she's a Hollywood AI producer. She just did the video with Layla Hathaway and Willow Smith. I mean, we're really leveraging these tools, whether it is for government contracting, whether it's for proposals, whether it is for presidential campaigns. We've
Mhm.
had the opportunity to leverage these tools and all of those capacities while building real estate businesses and companies.
And so what I love about what you just said, and for those that aren't doing video yet, because that's some great stuff for people that are getting ready to do video or do need to do it more often. Like every time I hear her
Yes,
say that, I'm like, I need to do more video.
yes.
Right? When she talks about how many words a video represents, that you, in terms of content online. Talk to me about because also there are those that are still using that are that they're still sending out blogs, they're still sending out handwritten note cards or printed flyers or printed things to clients. How can AI be used to either make that sort of content better, refreshing, faster, right? Because we're also talking about efficiency and speed. How can that also be used so we're reaching that agent as well?
So let me say this. I still send out handwritten notes, okay? So I believe in a handwritten note. Some things I don't believe in. Let me tell you what I don't believe in. And I'm going back to when I got started in real estate in 1999. I had billboards, I had bus benches. The reason I don't believe in those is because people are looking down at their mobile device, period. When they driving, they texting, they're looking at the GPS, they're not looking
Oh.
at the bus bench, and they're not looking at the billboard. And the question is, they're not going to remember the telephone number, and how do they stop to capture a QR code? So there's just some things I'm not going to invest in today because it's not the highest and best return of my dollars. Okay. I don't do classified ads in the back of the Sun Times. I was put on the map with classified ads in the back of the Sun Times. So it was a time the classified ads, the bus benches, and the billboards were working wonders for my business. Today, I am making sure that I have content online with landing pages and lead magnets. And let me tell you how well this is working, okay? I have roughly 35,000 contacts in my customer relationship management system that I get to leverage all the time, right? To get as close as humanly possible to seven figures per year. Not there, but 2025 is going to be that seven figure gross income year. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm going to give you my son, Skylar. Last year at this time, maybe on this day, yeah, this day is the day that he started doing something. Exactly 365 days ago, the boy was not doing anything. In the past 365 days, because he's put out 80 videos that have gotten over 5 million video views, he's added over 1,500 contacts to his customer relationship management system, but he's putting out the highest value content, which is video content. He toggles between number one and number two in units sold as the down payment rant king. But it's not just my son, right? Because in our top four out of 253 agents, two of the top four are under the age of 30. And both of them have customer relationship management systems. And both of them put out consistent video content. I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing it
Incredible.
with a young demographics, right? And they're coming
Yeah.
in and they're taking market share.
Because they're
The
taking time to do the video.
they're taking time to do the and here's what's funny. My son is only visibly seen in 10% of his videos.
That's amazing. Y'all, I'm trying to get Skylar on in a later episode later this year, which I told Marky about because I've heard how incredible he is in another class. And I'm like, I got to get him on to talk
Yes,
to y'all about there's no excuses. When it's
none, none.
done,
But
yes.
but let's come back to this. So
Hmm.
leveraging artificial intelligence, right, to create that follow-up email sequence, to help you create the lead magnet, to help you with the language for the landing page. These are all the things that Skylar has in place. So we are leveraging artificial intelligence to help us with every step of the process, which allows us to produce more at a faster rate and reduce our cost so that now you can have net income in order to invest.
And I don't, man, and I don't want y'all to miss what she said too. She said that he's doing this when he's not even in the video. So he's using B-roll content. When that if
Yes,
B-roll is video where you're not in the
yes.
video. He's using other content to make these videos that are still producing the same results for him, but he somehow is getting eyeballs on the video for a period of time. So how is he even getting people to look at these eyeballs? And then what platforms? Because does it have to be a specific one or can they use all different ones?
You should use the one where your target audience is. Skylar's
Okay.
buyers as the down payment grant king, most of his buyers are under the age of 35. So with that
Awesome.
being said, he's very strong on Instagram, he's very strong on TikTok. His number one video has gotten over 1 million views. Now what he can do now with that video, or he could have did it before he got to 1 million views, is if he's going to place an ad, he should place an ad behind one of these videos that he's gotten hundreds of thousands of views on. Now, he's gotten over 5 million video views, and he has numerous videos that he's gotten over 100,000 views. So he could do a A/B split test on his most popular videos to see which one is going to perform well. It's going to increase the visibility, but this is what we know about his numbers. We know that he generates one lead for every 300 views based on the amount of people in his customer relationship management system, based on the amount of video views in which he has had. Okay.
Yeah.
So we know what these numbers are looking like. We now need to just get more eyes on the video. We know that 29% of the people who go to his landing page are going to opt in. So now you have the basis. But let me be clear, 3 years ago he didn't have the basis. He had videos that performed well but didn't generate any leads. He had other videos that didn't perform greatly but generated leads. He needed to combine the two. And for him, Instagram is what is allowing him to be able to generate the most leads in the least amount of time. Where for me, it is going to be LinkedIn and Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So you got to understand who your target audience is. His is going to be female under the age of 35. Mine is going to be female. Average age is going to be 45 to 54. So it's not just a platform, it's the preferred platform of your target audience is where
Right.
we need to spend our time.
And so is there a certain like size, should they be vertical or should they be horizontal? And then I got another question behind that after that. But that's my first one. Should it be vertical or should it be horizontal? And then what do you mean by putting an ad behind the video?
Okay. So vertical video content 916 is going to be the preferred video format right now. And I want you to think stories that disappear in 24 hours. I want you to think about reels, whether that is going to be on Instagram or Facebook. I want you to think YouTube shorts. I want you to think, in addition to that, I want you to think LinkedIn, right? So vertical video format. For me, for lead generation, 7-second videos are freaking awesome for me. Skylar started off with 7-second videos, but now he's doing videos up to 60 seconds. So he prefers to do a longer video. But a 7-second, you can either do B roll or BTS behind the scene video footage. It doesn't have to be of you. But here's what we've come to realize I don't get as many video views as Skylar gets, but I convert at a higher rate. I
Interesting.
convert. So I'm getting more people to go to the landing page, and my landing page converts at 42%. Okay.
Nice. Wow, that's
So,
incredible.
right. So, but I'm in my videos.
Ah,
And
okay.
and and so let me say this. You have to pick what you're going to do consistently.
Mhm.
Skylar's not going to create video consistently of him being in a video. Okay. Therefore, what he's doing works wonders for him. And he should close out the year right at about 200,000. I think that's fabulous for a 28-year-old who doesn't have any kids, right?
Definitely.
So that's going to work well for
More
him.
than
Okay.
fabulous.
More than fabulous, right? So that's going to work well for him. I don't mind doing video every single day, regardless to how I look. And so I'm going to put out video content with me in it. So when I said put an ad behind it, if you are on Facebook and or on Instagram, you can run an ad on content that has previously been posted. Okay. As opposed to posting the content for the ad. Because actually, what happens if you post the content for the ad, when you stop running the ad, the content disappears. If you come and you put an ad behind existing content, let's say it gets to 2.5 million views, he'll stop it, but it'll show you the 2.5 million views. So they'll be like, oh, that was a really good video. Yeah, the first million was. The other 2.5 million views came because it was ad spend behind it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I get that. Okay. So go back and use an old video that did well and put a little ad behind it.
And put a
Have it
little
either
ad
like a
spend behind
specific
it.
property or just like if you're a listing or just, hey, here's what I do for business.
Think, do you want to dominate that community? Think about price point.
Okay.
Or think about monthly payment. Skylar does very
Hmm.
well with monthly payment videos. And his people like a payment under $2,500 a month, right? You might not get that in other markets, but you can get that in the Chicago market. And so he definitely has a video that has worked very well for him, but the 1,500 leads, has spent no money on ad spend.
That's great.
No money on ad spend. So he has two choices now. In order to reach his business goals, either he's going to put out more video content or he's going to put out more video content and do an ad spend behind it. But he needed to develop his systems. So now he's making sure that he's shored up on his systems because you don't need more leads if you can't service them and service them at a high level. But let me come back and say something
Exactly.
because I got to say this. And I wanted to say it earlier. You're one of the top 10 MSAs. In the top 10 MSAs, down payment assistance is used 15% of the time, but it is available 79% of the time. So, the same way that I'm responsible for attracting our top 4 agents in units sold, I know that I have enough business for 12 more of them
Right.
based on the utilization. Because Skylar's the down payment grant king and most of his buyers bring little to no money to closing, he's even
Yeah.
had some that have gotten up to $3,100 back. Because of that, get this, he gets a signed buyer representation agreement because he understands his value add with an offer of compensation and often makes more as the buyer agent than the listing agent has earned. That's the magic sauce because you got to understand your value add.
And
What?
he really also understands, not only does he understand his value add, but he also really understands his target market. And
Yes.
so what you're talking about is so key, right? Even his understanding of his target market, how they think, because he knows that age group, that demographic group thinks in monthly payment because they're used to paying rent. So that's the way they think. And so for him to market to them and get them effectively like, hey, you can get this just like rent for your house is brilliant because he understands his target market. And so I think a lot of agents, especially those that probably got licensed in the past 3 to 5 years, don't fully understand their target market and how to market to them. And looking at your social media, like you said that he started looking at his social media content as well and understood who his buyer was, and then started marketing in the language that his buyer speaks. And then ties that with an ad in the background. And then how is he finding time to respond to all these ads? Or is AI, is there an AI tool for that as well?
So when they come into the customer relationship management system, he has, I think it's probably up to 12 part email follow-up sequence. And then once a month, he sends out a text message. What's interesting, this is the first time I'm gonna say this. So my son has a lot of siblings. Two of his siblings are also licensed. He also is a Kappa. His fraternity, one of his neophytes is on his team. So Skylar has 5 agents that he has successfully recruited to help him with the business.
He's built a team already. Still.
Yes.
And does he also use AI? Because I feel like at one time you said he also used AI to respond because those messages will come into those inboxes, but then you want to hit him with a landing page. That's even better than AI, the AI response. But he has an AI response that gets him to that page, right? And so
Yes, he does. He
And
does
see,
have an
that gives
AI
that,
response.
yeah, and which is really smart, right? So he is, it gets him to the page, and on that landing page, he's capturing their information, and then now he's built out a team.
Yes.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. All at
Eh,
what age? 26,
28.
28.
28.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And he listens. He obviously been listening to his mama about
No, guess what?
technology.
No, because he should have, to me, now this is the mother in me, right? Um, he should have listened 3 years ago, right? So I'm not gonna let him live that part down. He should have listened 3 years ago. Is he listening now? Yes, but I think he listens to every other thing that I say
Yeah.
because I'm going to tell you, I tell him all the time. You know, I've already told you that. So this is what's kind of funny. His younger brother is 17. And Austin said, well, he'll be 18. And he was like, oh, I'm going to get my license at 18. And he looks over, he says, and I'm going to listen to everything you say, mom. And because I said, the only reason you would get a license at 18 is to be able to tell your brother you got a license before him. That is
That's
the
right.
only reason.
That's
So
right.
Skylar
They're
got
gonna
his license at
compete.
24. It's a little competition,
I
most
love
definitely.
it. That's
He'll be
good
the
competition,
youngest.
though.
It is. He'll be the youngest at 18. We wouldn't be able to beat 18. So
Amazing, amazing. That is so good. So we talked about some lead gen strategies, y'all, and she's giving y'all some really, really good ones already. So once they get the lead gen, what's a great tip that you can give to our members about turning those social media followers into real paying clients, and how can you do that with AI?
leveraging AI, there's a tool called Humantic.ai. What it can do is run a disk profile on the people that are in your customer relationship management system, and it can run it on them based on their LinkedIn profile, their X account, and or any email communications you have with them. It is known that if you sell to a person based on their personality selling, that you can increase your revenue by 15%. And so leveraging AI means that we don't send everybody the same message. We send variations of that same message based on a person's personality. But you're leveraging AI to build out your email sequence and then tag your clients. Leveraging AI to change and tweak your messages. So, the same way you send one email, you can literally edit that email, have a new email to a different personality type in less than 10 minutes. Because, yeah, it only takes a minute to write the email, but you still need to read it, edit it, make a few modifications is one of the ways. So Humantic.ai, leveraging other tools, making sure that you're sending that SMS message. Here's what we've come to realize. A lot of Skylar's buyers, not necessarily mine, are on his website opting in between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m.
Wow.
That means you got to have an autoresponder.
Yeah,
You got
definitely.
to send them something immediately.
Yep.
And the reason that he's brought in a VA is because he wants to go back and follow up more. He wants there to be a call initiated to these people. So AI is going to be used at the top of the funnel, essentially for everything
Yeah.
in order to get them to the point that they're booking a call where you physically show up. But in most organizations, artificial intelligence is going to handle the top of funnel until you get to that face to face meeting using Calendly, which well, I use Calendly. Skylar uses Google Calendar, but Calendly is artificial intelligence because there is a email sequence that follows
Mhm.
up until the meeting and even after the meeting that you can send them other value added items.
Not used that feature in Calendly yet. What? Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. Interesting.
Leveraging
Interesting.
because I use Calendly for everything, and I've read couple of reports and people like, well, people, don't find it personal that you send them a calendar link. I'm gonna be honest with you. As a busy person, I want you to send me a Calendly link. I don't
Yeah,
want to go back
same.
and forth, all of that. Just send me your Calendly link and
Same.
let's get it started, right? And so for busy people and CEOs and the people I do business with, we prefer that, right?
Yep.
Send it on over. Let me get it on the calendar. as opposed to
Exactly.
going back and forth. You need to call me. No, don't want to talk, right?
Exactly.
Let me schedule this appointment. And we'll talk when we get on the meeting.
Yep. That's
And,
right. I love it. I swear by Calendly for appointments. That is the, and like you said, me, I prefer Calendly personally. Send me your link, please, so I can find the time. That's how we scheduled this meeting too, because you're busy, I'm busy. And it was like, let's just do this. And I was like, you know what? Let me create an event. Let me just create an event type for this because it's like that's the best way to do it. And I have like 30 different events, I feel like, so on Calendly, but they work. They work. But I didn't realize you can also do the drip campaign in Calendly as well. So that's pretty cool.
so we know that Fireflies told me today I had 437 meetings. Well, that wasn't really 430. Well, let me give you a breakdown. I try to do 100 events face to face. I offer a meeting opportunity with everybody that I do an event with. So one of these are let's plan this event. I'm going to do at least 50 podcasts per year. With
Mhm.
me doing 50 podcasts between Drive with NAR and with Social Selling Made Simple, that is 50 interviews. So let's
Yeah.
say that half of those are Drive with NAR. That's a prep meeting and a rate. So these are all to me pro- productive meetings because either that means that I'm being booked to do a face to face event or I'm getting ready to record video for the podcast.
Yep. Yep.
That's going to all
And
be high
it
value.
and they're all in alignment though, right? Like we talked about earlier,
Yes.
right? They're all in the same lane. And that is when the highway's all going in the right direction, it all is gonna get you there, which I
Yeah.
love. And as you can, I mean, from what we even talked about already, I'm like, we need to do another podcast on how to use NAR
Resources.
sites. That's a whole nother thing, right? Because and I go to
Oh,
those all the time at NAR, but a lot of people, they're not going to these NAR, conferences. We've got probably 10% showing up, right? 1.6 million people. We're getting, I mean,
yeah. We're
20,000.
getting 2%.
Exactly,
2%.
even 2% actually. Yes, exactly.
2%.
2% showing up. And so they're not getting those one-on-ones about how to use those studies. And you're using them even on even a faster level, even with that, by using leveraging technology to even get a faster result out that you can specifically for your followers, though, right? For your people that you're trying to reach. And that's the thing about it is like leveraging the AI, which I think you explained really, really well about how you can take the tools that are there that we have access to, pick out the section that of the demographic you're trying to reach in your local market, and then turning those into leads, and then converting those leads. And you can only do that as fast and as in volume, as much volume by leveraging the tools.
That is it. That right there summed it up very,
I
very
yeah, I've
well.
had no choice. And so it's been so beneficial taking your classes all the time because I'm just like,
Thank you.
how do we get it all done? How do we get it all done? But it's like, put it in ChatGPT, right?
Put it
It's
in
like even
ChatGPT.
when you
Yeah.
just talked about taking that content that you wrote, that touch, that email, and now you got to change it to a different demographic, you could potentially put that in ChatGPT and tell them what demographic you want this rewritten to.
Oh yeah, and that's what we do. So we take
Right.
that personality and like for instance, I'm a high D, high C. I want it direct, I want it simple. Don't sugarcoat it for me because I'll still tell you no. So a lot of people like to sugarcoat it for me, and then I can literally see their faces in utter shock when I tell them no. Well, first of all, I think you wasted my time in the first place because you would have got the same no, right? Right? Just come with the win-win for both parties. That's how you would talk to me. There are other people who like you to sweeten it up for them. I don't like that. So generally, when people waste all that time doing that, I'm annoyed. So they're
Mhm.
going to get a no faster. I hate to
Yes.
say that. So you got to understand the personality of the people in which you're doing business with if you want them on your team.
Yeah.
Uh, I worked at Pfizer Pharmaceutical for 2 years, and the best sales training in the world, right? Number one sales training in the world. And my one big takeaway from Pfizer was that it was my responsibility to be like a chameleon. The doctors don't have to change when I walk up in the doctor's office. I need to pivot my personality to sell to them. And we have a lot of people in real estate sales who think it's about them. No, it's not about you. And if you can't pivot to the person you working with, you're gonna have a problem getting them to work with you.
So true. So true. And as a managing broker too, it's like my team members, their strengths are in areas that I am not in. or things that I don't want to do anymore because I don't need everyone just like me. I need people to supplement the areas where I'm not the greatest in. Like you talked about, the soft sell, the details. There's certain things that, we got to balance it out if you're going to have a team growing. You're going to grow. That's a whole nother podcast, right?
That is.
Um, growing that team out. So we've talked about lead gen, we talked about follow-up processes, we talked about using the CRM to follow up and scaling, right? How do we use, how do agents use leverage AI and technology to find their tribe, right? Generating content to find their tribe and who their community is and tying in with their local markets. Like what's a tip you can give them on how to do that? Because you
Uh,
talked about Skylar doing that, but how do they figure out what that is?
um, by listening, people will tell you all their problems, right?
True.
So the question is now, how do you solve those problems? There is a acronym that we leverage on ChatGPT, WIIFT. What's in it for them? And we can reposition the messaging of anything with the WIIFT. But we mentally have to shift our thought process to note that we have to make it about them. It has to be a consumer benefit to them. If not, right, it's all about you.
Yeah.
And so we consistently use that for the landing pages, for the follow up email, to reposition everything to the consumer and the value add to them. And right now, because of the buyer representation agreement and the fact that I not only want not only do my agents need to get a BRA signed, right? I want them to get one signed with an offer of compensation. That's why I'm going back to the imaging. I need people to see themselves working with me in images they've never seen before, so that when I sit down and I talk about the value add to, it could be an African American woman. And let me say why, because the National Association of Realtors right now has their 3 by 30 initiative. We want to net 3 million new Black home owners before the year 2030. Because I live on the south side of the city of Chicago, in one of the most segregated cities in a segregated community, I am clear on who the buyers and sellers are in the market. I'm finding all of the benefits to that single Black woman, so that when I sit down and have a conversation with her, she knows that one, I did some research, but she can
Oh,
see benefits to owning a house, and owning a house in this zip code. Because if you could buy $1 million house here, you can buy a house pretty much in most communities in the city of Chicago. Why would she come over here to buy?
yeah. And so I love that because honing in on your market area, what are some good ways that, that agents can collaborate with local businesses in their area to target their generate referrals?
So for me, as a 54-year-old woman, the way that I would do it would be different than, of course, how Skylar would do it.
Right.
So for me, I'm often talking about the issues that impact women my age. We're gonna have a menopause discussion.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to go and get your vitamins and herbs for where I get them from. Maybe you want to go and leverage my esthetician for the things in which women in my age bracket go to leverage their esthetician for. And so I'm identifying all of these different services, but this is the way that I talk all the time, right? So I have a bra specialist at Nordstrom's. I've sent a ton of women to this specialist. It doesn't have to be about real estate. Once you understand that person's lifestyle, then you're going to talk to them about that lifestyle. For Skylar, there's a health food store on 75th Street. He did a TikTok that went viral, that the owner called him to come and do marketing work with him. Or even for there's a restaurant in Chicago on 31st Street. I'm trying to think of the style of food it is. It's like saute, but that's not what we call it. Another video that went viral. So Skylar's thinking about how his lifestyle is and what people in his age bracket are attracted to. And I'm doing the same identical thing. So I'm going to partner with the bra specialist. I'm going to,
Yeah.
who does HRT, right? Hormone replacement therapy in the community. No,
Right.
I'm serious, right?
Yeah, no, that's great. So
Because
true.
those are the things that I'm talking about that
Yeah.
allow me to connect with other women in my age bracket who are my ideal client for what it is I profess that I say that I sell.
And they're directly buying homes, like you said, in your neighborhood. So it
They are.
all, and then it's going to come up in their feeds when they're looking online because all your content is catered to them.
Yes.
So good. That is so good.
Thank you. But it's a lifestyle. And
It's
you
a
should be the lifestyle, right? And I am the lifestyle of the homeowners in my community.
yeah.
We resonate and connect on so many different levels.
I love it. I love it. And y'all, see, every time I do this, I just get a laundry list of things I need to do. But I love it because, like she said, it is getting started and really just doing it over and over and really honing those skills, honing those skills. Just I get better and better every time I use ChatGPT. I get better at the prompts. I get better at all of that. And I feel like in one of your classes, you were here in Atlanta earlier this year. If y'all missed it, y'all missed it. Y'all better pay attention to your Atlanta Realtors emails. I think it was for brokers. And so y'all, it was so good. But you talked about being able to put your voice in
Mhm.
ChatGPT. So it starts to write like you instead of like someone else. Can you talk to our members a little bit about that and how they do that, just so they can find it and even just start to play with it? You're gonna probably have to get in-depth training on it. You're gonna have to go to one of the classes, but she's gonna give you an overview right now because it does make a difference. It made a difference in how like my content was coming out. So
So every person has what's called a voice paragraph. We all have a voice, a style, and a tone in which we write in. There is a prompt, and we can make sure that we attach the 189 prompts. And the very first prompt is a prompt for you to create your own voice paragraph. The joy of a voice paragraph is that who you are online matches up with who you show up as at the person's house, right? But more importantly, because we all have a voice paragraph, because artificial intelligence is trained on all things on the internet, we are actually applying a filter to it. And applying that filter is going to reduce the amount of plagiarism, which would come about in non filtered content. So I'm making it sound like me. You can leverage your voice paragraph on Copilot, Chat GPT, even inside of Canva, because Canva has a plethora of AI tools. So I have to do less editing than a lot of people, but everybody in my house, I've created a voice paragraph for them. That means that if I'm doing something for Skylar, I'm applying Skylar's voice paragraph to what it is that I'm doing for him so that it'll sound different. But not only do you need to have your voice paragraph, and we just did this as an update last week. What is your why? What is your mission statement, your vision statement, your business plan? Because as you're leveraging AI, the more data that you feed it, the better the results it will give you. So I have a voice paragraph, I have a why, I have a vision, I have a mission, I have a business plan. So I'm going to get substantially better results than a person who does not have this data already in the system or copy paste if you want to make the outcome better. All
it
that
is
stuff, you
amazing.
want to feed it because it's going to change everything. Did I tell you we doing videos for Hollywood and working on billion-dollar campaigns? That is AI positioned us to do all of this. And we've done all of this within 2 years of any of
Amazing.
us leveraging AI. And the team that I work with is mid aged African American females. All of us are over the age of 50. We're between 50 and 55 years of age. And we all started using these tools between November of 2022 and January 2023. So we all have 2 years in, and it has changed how we do business and given us some of our time back.
Amazing. That's beautiful. That's amazing to hear. So y'all hear how you gotta change, you gotta put your stuff in the background, your voice. You gotta tell it how to sound and speak like you. That also will save you time because you're not always saying,
Yes.
hey, rewrite this, rewrite this, rewrite this. So and then it's more authentic when you show up in person, you actually sound like the content you've been putting out online. So I thought that was just gold. And I was like, oh my gosh, all her stuff is gold. But I
Oh,
was just
thank you.
like, wow, how cool, right? Because if you sometimes try to go at it on your own and you don't know all of those things you need to do in the background. So in closing, you get to your client meeting, you convert the lead into a meeting, you get to the client meeting. Now you want to close this client. And let's say it could be a listing client. What are some closing techniques that you found that you've used AI for and how to get this to close?
So a couple of things I want you to think about is all of your branding and marketing, leveraging tools like Canva in order to create a unique marketing experience. But I'm going to use a word, a bespoke marketing experience. AI allows you to bring a luxury experience to people who might not have the opportunity to experience luxury. So it's going to be your
Love that.
unique selling proposition. If I have any photos of a person's house, I can go in and do a color palette for their home. So all of their branding and marketing matches the color palette of their home. Creating custom fonts, creating individual logos for every single property are things that you can do in a matter of minutes. So you want to walk them through a unique, personalized experience, leveraging
Yes.
AI. And your follow up can be substantially better than any of your competitors with more follow up messages tagged based on their personality. But the Canva part is huge from the visual element. Now, I don't do a lot of offline paper stuff because people tend to discard it. So the fact that you can create all of these experiences online, and I'm gonna give you this one. Um, the same PDF that I created today, there's a tool called Notebook LM that you can take that property address and information and create a individual podcast for that property. You could create a quiz for that property. You could create a checklist for that property with just a few words. And so, what are you going to do to leverage these tools to be different than your competitors?
Yeah. Differentiation.
Yeah, they're not even doing the color palette. So that means the branding is in your company colors that don't match. The color palette don't match the house photos. Why not do a custom color palette based on the photos of that house? You load these photos into canva.com/colors. There are four different tools. One is a color palette picker, and it will tell you the colors from that photo so that you can change the fonts of what you're using in Canva directly for that property. Your competitors aren't doing those small things or paying attention to those small details that allow you to stand out and be different.
That luxury feel and experience and unique selling proposition that you stand out amongst
Yeah.
the competition. Beautiful. That's beautiful. So we're going to go to some quick rapid fire tools and tips.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go, and then we're gonna get to, we're gonna be closing out. And y'all,
All
I
right.
know you're gonna want more. So, all right, so real quick, what is the best free tool, free, that agents can use to start right now, content creation or marketing?
ChatGPT.
What's your favorite AI tool for creating engaging social media content quickly?
Hmm. Opus Clips, Opus Pro, taking longer videos, breaking them down into vertical videos, regardless to whether it was recorded horizontally.
What's the one lead generation tactic you swear by that agents can try this week?
Hmm. I believe in landing pages, and even if an agent doesn't use Kajabi or StanStore or have a customer relationship management system, Skylar, we utilized Google Forms to generate his first 63 leads 48 hours after he had a real estate license.
Nice. Awesome. All right, y'all. That was jam-packed with info. And I know this is going, it went on a little longer than we typically do, but I mean, we can talk to Marky for days, seriously.
Thank you.
So thank you for
Thank you.
everything. Sharing your information, your tools with our listeners. You are always teaching realtors. You can find her at conferences, realtor conferences all the time, as well as tell them your website, markilemons.com, right? And it's also gonna be in the show
MarkyLemons.com.
notes.
Yes.
And she's always giving out tools, tips, and insights for you to keep improving your business. She shares what she learns. And people are always asking for like one-on-one coaching classes. And she's like, no, I don't do that. But she does have like a group class. I
I
know
do.
she gives a group membership class because it's about leverage. You got
Yes.
time. It's only 24 hours in a day. There's only one Marki, right? So
Yeah, so they can go to markilemons.com/membership. We do a monthly master class, a monthly group coaching call, and provide an item of value every single week. My strategies are all six-figure strategies. So I pride myself on getting people to six figures in 12 months, leveraging one of hundreds of strategies to get them there. And what we're focused on this year is grants, down payment assistance, utilizing gifts, and the EAH, the Employer Assisted Housing Program, where Ebony Killian, if she is with you, is also teaching those classes for people in this great state of Georgia and online for people worldwide.
she is. She is. And Ebony is an ARA member and managing broker at ARA too, y'all. I think she chairs the membership engagement committee next year. So y'all can find her and ask her more about that. She's been going out to brokerages and teaching that class too. And that is an NAR designated course. But man, Marki, whew, amazing, amazing stuff.
Thank you.
We ask every guest this. So what book are you reading or listening to right now?
Oh, the books that I am working through right now would actually be Jesus Calling. So I have just got my new copy here. I've done Jesus Calling before and I get the daily emails, but this one came with a 5-minute gratitude journal. Know that gratitude attracts more to me, so always looking to re-engage in my level of being grateful.
Oh, that is everything. Gratitude, it expands. And
It
yes,
expands,
it's a
it expands.
daily thing, y'all. If you're not doing gratitude daily, that is, it's everything.
It
So,
is.
yeah. So thank you again.
Thank you.
For those listeners out there, if you like what you heard, please subscribe, leave us 5 stars, share this with one of your realtor friends or it's people in your office. Let them know about what you heard today. And so they can start listening in. We created this podcast because we wanted to give our members in the community, our real estate community, more tools and access to education that they may not get because they may not come in person. But we know you are listening to podcasts in your car, and we want to make sure that you understand what's out there and available for you to help make you better producers. And we're so thankful Marki came today
Thank
to
you.
give us her time and share her just incredible ideas that she's working on and sharing with us today. So follow her for more content and information on AI. Her website is in the show links, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye bye.